Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with more RimWorld today, continuing the Super 6 series, and we are on episode number 20 of the playthrough. If you need to get caught up, I've got a link to the playlist down in the description, but otherwise, we're in pretty good shape. The caravan has recently returned. We've been sending out half of the colony, essentially 3 people at a time, to excavate some of these genetic laboratories that have fallen to ruin, and that allows us to get some genetic materials that we wouldn't normally get like right away. Now, the unfortunate part is we haven't found a good enough excavator, which is one of these little guys here, to go for our thrumbos. None of these will work, but we did actually find one colossal genome. And we've got a bunch of other selections. So today we are definitely going to be popping in our first couple of new mutant hybrid animals. I don't know what we're going to go with yet, but we'll play around with some stuff and see what's what. But the colony is coming along. So I'm going to keep people here. We won't send any caravans out in the near future just in case Randy wants to hit us with something. And of course, while we work in the laboratories, we need all hands on deck to guard the colony. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and speed things up and get started. Alright, we have a couple of interesting things here to look at. So, firstly, we've been searching those ruins, as I mentioned, picking up some different, boosters, or whatever you want to call these. They have a list of different things you can add to the genetics process to either help the outcome, or, prevent failure. Even things like controller. What this does is essentially allows you to draft the animal, as long as it's a successful genetic, mutation. You can control it literally like you would a drafted pawn and send it out to fight and stuff. So we're going to do that. And a couple of other things too. I'm going to craft up some fertility unblockers. Those aren't too expensive, but the controller, you can see, yeah, they know that this is the one everybody wants right here. You can directly control these monsters in battle. So I think for the thrombo, because we do have the colossal gene, I shouldn't necessarily call it thrombo, but that is what it'll come out as, just from in my experience with the mod previously, at least. Maybe it's changed, but you can actually obtain colossal from 3 different sources: the thrumbos, gallatros, or the moribund gallatros, which I don't even know what that is, but regardless. So there's that. We are probably, what I was thinking, I was looking at what we have available here between what's currently on the shelf that we could mix with the thrumbo. And I think for our first one, we're just going to do a reptile thrumbo, see what kind of a dinosaur monstrosity comes out of that. But no, this one won't have the fertility unblockers since we only have the one colossal genome. Well, hopefully we'll get more and we'll be able to do some other crosses, but I think for the first one we're just going to do something real crazy. Reptile thrumbo sounds good. Now, secondly, speaking of monstrosities, we've got a summit crab here. This comes to us courtesy of the Alpha Animals mod itself. It's a pretty big boy. It's not hostile, but it will destroy anything that it walks next to. Look, stupid rabbit. Yep, rabbit just got crushed. And of course, characters explode on death in our current scenario, so he probably took a little bit of damage there, but no, not even at all. This thing's a beast. And it will crush buildings, people, animals, so we got to be real wary of this. In fact, like I say, it's not hostile, but it is smart to still probably limit everybody to our safe zone, including the robots. I don't want to have any accidents happen with this thing on the map. Everything is ready. It is time to design our monster. So let's go into our morpher here, design a growth cell. Now the first dominant one we want, of course, is the colossal or thrumbo gene. And secondary, we decided on reptile. There it is, the thrumbo lizard. This thing's going to be crazy. It's got a 90% success and 10% for an aberrant flesh beast, a failure essentially. So let's select correct. Legendary genoframe. That's right. Quality animal is going to be the highest it can be. And our booster, you know it, is going to be the controller so that we can directly control and draft this monster on the battlefield. Now, all we have to do is initiate synthesis. You can see with the controller too, it's actually dropped a little bit. Now we only have an 85% with a 15% chance that it comes out of flesh monstrosity. And of course, if this does outcome, it's not benefit at all. This thing has to be killed on the spot. There's always a few things in RimWorld I make sure to micromanage and carefully watch when I order my pawns to do something. This is definitely one of them. Medical procedures are also one of those. But this is something I've found too, and I'm talking about the full process, because once this pops out, if it's successful and doesn't turn out to be a failure with an aberrant flesh piece, thank you Gizmo, she just finished it off there. But anyway, this thing will produce a cell which needs to be immediately implanted into this. Not immediate, it has like a short shelf life, but it does need to go into the womb right away, as soon as possible. And if you just neglect that and you fail to let it leave there, I mean, the pawns might be hungry, they might be tired, they might go and eat and then sleep and then recreate before they even get to it, so it'll go to waste. I've had that happen before. So like I say, I always make sure to micromanage a few things in the genetics, especially when thrumbo genes are on the line. That's definitely one of them. You know, something just doesn't feel right about leaving my luciferium just laying around on the floors of my stockpile area. So I've built a little room here, a little closet with a shelf in it, and this one is specifically for the luciferium. I can also forbid the doors, and hopefully none of the animals will stumble in here and start to munch on the cinnamon candy. There we go, our little lifter robot. He's coming to grab it and move it to now its new proper storage. Hey, look at this. We got another trader, exotic goods. I actually called this one. Again, I'm trying to call as many as we can afford with our faction influence. And looks like we've got a pretty decent trade. Most importantly, we're picking up a mega screen TV. That is right. So let's go ahead and accept this. It's actually kind of costly. It's going to cost about half the silver we've got, but ultimately it's worth it for the TV amongst other things. Let's go ahead and get that installed. I don't think I'm going to do a specific TV room, but we'll set one of these right here. Actually, I might have to. Let's move these tables. If I smush this one closer, then I think the TV will cover all the chairs there. We'll have to line that up again and check it. But yeah, that's a good trade for sure. And oh, check this out. The bars are almost full. We're at 90% towards our genomorpher progress. Over here, we're at 46 for our third clone and 97 for the next clone after that. So they're coming along. Everything's grown quite nicely so far. Nothing hostile has shown up either to challenge our supremacy. Okay, we've done it. We've got the cell here. It is ready to go. Okay, and I think I was misremembering some of the way this works out, but we have to install it here, and then we won't know if it's successful until after it pops out of the electro womb. So either way, it's still very important to make sure that somebody comes and inserts this into the proper womb. Of course, there's two sizes, the large and the regular. I always build the large because in my experience, you can insert even small animals into the large ones, no big deal. But obviously you can't insert large animals into the smaller incubators. That's not going to work. So again, I just built a couple of big ones and it seems to do the trick. Now, this is going to take a while. You can see the progress clicking away down there. Again, won't know if it's a success until, it pops out, but hopefully it will be. Let's see. It's time to design another one. Now, I could, and I was thinking about this, we might move our genetic stuff into a different room or just move this and then expand, because two of these would really be nice, wouldn't it, instead of doing this one at a time? But then we could set up like breeding pairs simultaneously. As it is now, we're going to do this one at a time. And I think I've decided on Boomaloop bird genomes. So these are going to be like kamikaze fighters going into battle fast and not coming out in one piece, mainly triggering mass explosions. So let's go ahead and set ourselves up with one. And again, we might do multiples of this. Boom, genome. Now you can play around with secondary. See, okay, so this is a boom chicken. Biological weapon in compact form. Leaves living, breathing bombs are ideally assembled. Yep. So this is what we're looking for. Produces edible eggs very slowly, but can lay a clutch of explosive eggs twice a day. Interesting. They're reasonably intelligent and quick on their feet. Now, like I said, we can play around with this. And let's do Avon, and then we'll put Boom in. Okay, it still comes out as a... No, this is a different animal. Now it's a chicken-a-loop instead of a booma chicken. Ideal companion for those who love the smell of fried eggs and napalm in the morning. All right, regretfully, they're too bird-brained to receive any direction, and most owners have noted saying they've made a huge mistake. With the recessive boomaloop genes, very dangerous if allowed breeding uncontrollably. Yeah, I think it's the other version we want. This one, the boom Avon. So let's switch that back to the way we had it. Again, it's fun to see the different combinations of stuff too. So this is what we're going to go for, the booma chicken. And I think we do want... Well, we'll just do the lowest gene frame, not the awful, actually. Those are for going up. We'll go with a good one. And let's go ahead and do a fertility booster, or unblocker, I should call it. Yeah. So again, that thrumbo lizard, if it comes out properly, will be sterile. Won't ever be able to breed. But this guy right here, this potential male, female, don't know the gender either, comes out. Let's do it. Initiate synthesis. Should be able to breed, and if it does come out in one piece, we'll probably start a second one right away. Like I said, try and get a breeding pair. It is random as far as I know with the gender, so you could just pop out male after male, but usually you get pretty lucky. All right, our sleeve is done, and of course that refers to the cloned body that we can install the consciousness of our own pawns into so that they become basically immortal. And they first need to have the cortical stack installed, which all of our colonists do, and then we just essentially preserve these bodies here in the sleeve casket until one of our people dies, and we just plug that stack into the body and they're ready to go. It's a brand new pawn, but with the same personality and skills carried over. And of course, all this technology is brought to us by the Altered Carbon mod. One of my favorites to play with. It adds a bunch of different stuff, but this is the main focus of the mod itself. And of course, it's based on the famous books by Richard K. Morgan and the Netflix series. Taking a look at our rec room here, you can see I put the mega screen television in so that it is actually covering all the chairs here for both tables now, so that's perfect. We will need to get a matching one for this side, of course, despite the fact we only have 6 colonists. I don't care. And this is a new mod for me right here. It is called EGI, Holograms and Projectors, and this particular one here is the highest beauty output that we've got available to us. It projects a 1800 beauty into the room. So let's flip the switch on this thing and see what it looks like here. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that thing. Oh, geez, that's a wild looking mask or hologram, I guess. So I believe we can cycle the mode. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Oh, so I was mistaken here. Cycling the mode actually just changes it from joy to ideological boost to nearby pawns increase their random skill. And this one we're going to stick with the joy, I think, because this is our rec room here. But we'll have to build some more of these. I didn't realize it had that kind of flexibility. That's awesome. We're also available to choose a list of projections here. So let's just try something. Oh, cuisine here, yeah. Since we're kind of in our dining room, let's see what this one looks like. Okay, wait, look at this. We've got options here. We can go with these different styles. Oh, cornucopia. Oh man, this mod's got a lot. I didn't realize it was this much. Let's go with the nice thrumbo grill there. That's amazing. And we don't even need a pawn now to come and flip it the switch or anything. We can just manually change it. Well, this mod turned out to be pretty cool. A little bit cooler than I had expected. I was hoping it'd be neat. Yeah, we'll leave that up. And you can change the color and stuff too. Actually, by default, kind of matches our color scheme currently. But let's hit the G button. Of course, we're at unbelievably impressive. Oh yeah, look at that 1800 beauty projected by that one square right there. That is easily probably the most condensed amount of beauty we've got in the entire colony currently. Whoa, check this out. I was just out here looking for potential hunting targets, and I noticed we've got some sort of abstract expressionist painting going on here on the map. Never seen this before, but these two camels have gotten real close in the night here. I don't know if that was intentional, but obviously the glitch is not. I've got an update on the thrumbo lizard for you. We can actually see him here in the tank. Look at that weird, awkward smile. Kind of looks like the Grinch who stole Christmas, but he does have a very prominent thrumbo horn there on his forehead. He's at 79%, so we're getting closer, no doubt about it. Even though we do see him visually as a thrumbo lizard, that is still not a guarantee that he won't fail and turn out to be an aberrant, flesh beast or something even nastier. But I am hoping, fingers crossed, that doesn't happen to us. Now, let's flash over to the hospital real quick. Here we go. Winters, our boy, he's been upgraded quite recently. He's recovering from the operation, but he had double leg surgery. His legs were perfectly fine, but we are the Super 6 here, so we're trying to advance not only our colony's technology, but the pawns themselves. So his legs are now advanced bionic. If we go to Aya real quick, you can see she's got those. She's not under anesthesia though, so if we take a look at her health, where is it? We want to see movement. Oh, we're looking for the overview. So movement is at 192% for her, which is in large part due to the advanced bionic legs here. Now his might be slightly different because they've got some of the upgrades which are a little bit different, but regardless, they're going to be some of the fastest pawns in the colony, and we're not stopping there. Eventually all 6 of our people will be upgraded with new legs. So I recently finished the Glitter World autopsy for 6,000, and that's the highest tier of post-mortem organ harvesting we have available, which is a really fun mod. And Randy has just dropped a transport pod on us, so we're going to order our people to finish this guy off since he actually stood up. There we go. And we're going to try a little post-mortem on this one, see how this newest, highest level of glitter tech does and how many organs it produces. Okay, once Aya has gotten the Glitter World style medicine plus the corpse, it is headless currently because I removed the stack from this one. It's cortical stack, but regardless, we should still be able to get some organs out of it. So let's speed it up just for a moment and see what we get. Oh, nice, nice. We got a lot of stuff here. 2 lungs, a heart. I don't see the brain, unfortunately. That was something I definitely wanted specifically, but regardless, this will work. So that's a nice little abundance of organs that just kind of explode out of the body there. I just got the notification, folks, and it is positive. We've got ourselves a thrumbo lizard. Look at this monstrosity, man. Oh, hello there, sir or ma'am. No, it is a male. Okay, and of course, as mentioned, it is sterilized. We do have the animal controllers successfully installed, so yep, I can literally control this guy, tell him where to go. Look at how fast he is, too. This is on speed number 1. I don't even have it sped up right now. Look at this dude truck it. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. So we need some more colossal genomes, that's for sure. All right, buddy, you're off. Let's see. So in terms of his animal tab, I'll go ahead and train him up to haul and, rescue. But attack-wise, I don't really need to waste the time on that, do I? Just because, obviously, I'm going to boost his medicine up. We'll give him some industrial level stuff. But yeah, if I can directly control him, there's no need to waste time training him for that. But what a beautiful creature. Our very first mutation, top of the line stuff right there. But either way, the genomorpher is almost done with our latest experiment, and we're just going to keep them coming after that, guys. No stopping. This is a fun little mod that adds some variety to your playthrough. It's called the Various Spaceship Chunk, and as you can see, it adds different colored chunks whenever you have an event that drops these, and basically they just give you a different variety of resources instead of the standard steel component. Sometimes you get plasteel or gold or uranium, whatever. It's never anything dangerous, but like I say, just a little variety. Well, we came across another batch of bodies here, so we're going to use them to harvest some more organs. Don't ask me how we got the bodies. Oh, let me click that message off over there that said Travelers Betrayed. Don't worry about that. No. But this should produce at least a couple of brains. That's really what I'm going for. I mean, the organs themselves are great for trading materials, don't get me wrong, but oh, is there a brain? There's another brain. Okay. So I sound like a zombie, don't I? No. There's a reason here. We're doing this brain in a jar mod, which is wonderful. As you can see currently, with all the linkables, most of them being brains, we've got our research bench speed factor up to 336 for each of these benches, but we can go higher. In fact, we can go much higher. If we check out the master brain here, look at the size of this monster. I'm a little bit short. We've got a few things that I still need some crucial ingredients like an AI chip and stuff, but there's also another one higher than, a little bit lower than the master brain, but higher than what we've got. That would be the quad brain, and this one we're ready to go with. This is going to give 200% boost, so almost double. Not quite, but almost. So I've got to move some of these things around to do it. So we might lose a small speed factor on one side here, but ultimately we're going to be coming out with a much bigger speed factor overall. So I'm pretty excited for that. And again, that's the real reason for all the organ harvesting currently. Let's see here. Is an adrenaline rib replacement worth 5% movement speed? Yes, it is. So I've built 6 of these total. Winters, once again, is in the hospital getting his rib cage upgraded. So we're going to give a little bit of boost to movement for all of them. Once again, I'm just trying to do general improvements all around, but movement is something I usually focus on first. Whenever I'm upgrading pawns with bionics, I always go with legs first, and I do really like the ribs too. They've changed a bit since I used to play with them. Now you have to build an empty rib replacement, like a blank rib, and then you fill it with whatever you want. Painkiller, heating rib. They've added a whole bunch of cool ones too, but movement speed is, like I said, that's always a big priority for me. Now I was hoping we could end today's episode on a big high note with a raid or something, go out with a bang, but we're just going to have to do it with the quad brain installation. But you know, it did get me to thinking, I want to do something I almost never do. Now we've already increased the difficulty in this run, but one thing I'm going to do is we're going to wave goodbye to Randy, I think, and let's go into our gameplay storyteller settings. If we switch it over to Cassie here, and we'll keep it at the same difficulty. We'll go into Losing is Fun custom level, and I'll just make sure to turn down the insta kills right here. We'll put it at 15. We don't want our people getting lucky hits from like a bow and arrow or something. So, and we'll turn that threat scale up. But with Cassie as the AI storyteller, we're guaranteed to get hit with raids in a specific interval of time, right? Now, unfortunately with Randy, that's not the case. It's random, and it is I don't want to say true random because I don't know if that's the case, but there's nothing in his code which says he has to hit you in any interval. So you can literally go for long stretches of time without any interactions and stuff. And in the late game, of course, the raids get spread out even longer, just naturally. So I think that, yeah, if we have a more regular attack structure, that could be beneficial. I mean, it's going to have to add a lot more excitement, I think, to the episodes. And of course, bodies mean resources around here, so we definitely need them too. It sucks having to just wait on like alms, people seeking charity and stuff. But anyway, like I said, we'll just finish with that little adjustment. Go ahead and save it at this point, guys. Call it quits for today, but don't worry, the series is going on strong. We're getting up to that high technology level too, which I really wanted to reach, and I'm glad for anybody who stuck around this long. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're a new viewer, and I will see you all on the next one. Hey everyone, I just want to give a personal thank you to my Patreon supporters. Their contributions help make my work possible, and I am tremendously grateful to them. I'd also like to extend an invitation to you to help support my work on Patreon as well. Your donations allow me to upgrade my PC and avoid the dreaded hardware despair. It also gives me more time to devote to new projects and create longer content such as live streaming. No matter what you decide, thank you for visiting my channel.